Welcome back to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for part two of What's on Our Mind. We are going to get to Jose Carlos Gomes and ask him what's on his mind. And I believe he has some questions and some thoughts. Go ahead, Jose.
Okay, first of all, what's on my mind? This stupid shit about what happened yesterday because of that LGBTQ plus
Oh,
whatever
wow.
in
What's the player's name, Jose? Ivan
Provorov.
Provorov, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, listen. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Okay. He says it's religious beliefs, whatever it is. If I was in his shoes, and if I don't discriminate against gay people or whatever it is, but if I was in his shoes, I would do the same thing too. If I don't believe in it, why should I be supporting it? Okay,
Okay. Okay.
that's just one thing. Everybody's getting all this hate, and then all this stuff that the team should suspend them and this and that. Why? What happened to the freedom of speech and expressions and stuff like that? So what now? Because the team is doing you have to wear whatever the
The
LGBTQ,
armband or whatever it
no,
was. Yeah.
jerseys and sticks
The
and stuff
jersey.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I don't want to wear it, why should I wear it? Because I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? I thought
Okay.
the freedom of speech and you have your free will and stuff like that. So I don't know what's the hate on this guy because of what he did. Listen, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. If he doesn't like it for his religious beliefs or whatever beliefs he has, then just lay off him. Like, I think everybody's making a big fuss about nothing. That's one thing. Now, I got a question for you guys. So I was hearing the other day I heard this on the radio and stuff like that. So let's make this. We'll take the five best European players right now in the NBA against
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
against
hell
five
yeah.
North American players in the NBA. Who would you
Today.
think would win the game?
In
And
today,
today,
in today, the European team would win. That's my opinion.
you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
So who
Sorry,
would you
I
your
don't want to
European
cut you off, Gil.
who would you rather
But
have? Who would you have on your European team, and who would you have on your American team?
If I knew this was
that's what
coming,
I
I
wanted
would
to
tell
ask.
you. But you want to go first? Because I'll do this. But you want to go first, Brian? Do you have this in your mind already?
Yes, of course
Okay,
I
you
do.
go ahead first because I have an idea, but I haven't come up with my lineup yet. Go ahead.
Of course I do. Obviously you're gonna have Giannis. You're gonna have the Joker. You're gonna have Luca, and then not to mention Shy, who's a Canadian boy, one of ours, right? Um, Not to mention like there's so many other
It
players that can fill it.
Would Embiid count as a North American guy? Or sorry,
No,
a European guy? He would be
a
American.
European.
World
Yeah,
versus North America. So North America will have the
world
Canadian.
versus North
Okay,
America.
so
Yes,
Embiid would play
and
for
then
the
when
U.S.
that,
Okay, okay,
no,
No,
just checking.
Embiid
no,
will play world.
you could
Okay,
also put
so
Kyrie
okay,
Irving in there in the European in the outside of the U.S. And but then when you look at the U.S., what do they got? Steph, LeBron.
Ja Morant. You got Ja Morant. You got
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna say John
Kevin
Morant,
Durant.
Kevin Durant. You
ah,
have Kyrie.
yeah.
You have Kyrie Irving. You have
Okay,
lots of things, man. Like
No.
Bam, Bam, Henry. Why you
Kyrie
from?
is Australian.
what I will say is
Kyrie,
it will be very close. It will not be an
100%.
easy US win like before. Um and it also
not even
depends on what
close.
rules. Are you playing under the Olympic rules which are favoring European players, or are you playing with NBA rules? That is a
Now you see,
significant thing because in Europe,
now
if
you
they play
see.
with the European rules, then
You're
the
playing at
European team
Rutgers Park,
wins.
like New York. You're playing
Well,
at Rutgers.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Shout out to my man Arturis, the producer for To the Point, which to the point, right? Shout out to him. He has actually explained it to me on how European rules are. There is no 3 second violation, right? It
There's
is
also
a
no
lot.
offensive goaltending. There's no offensive goaltending. as well.
Exactly. Exactly. There's a lot of difference that these guys, like when you see like the Kevin Durant's and the James Hardens and the LeBron James, where they whine and cry about it. They cannot get away with that when it comes to European rules,
Yeah, there's way
right?
more
So I
physicality allowed in European basketball. That's another factor. So
honestly, I think the European players, and I've said this to you guys. I think I said it last week with you guys. Like the three of you from European descent, and myself from not being well born here, but not being from North American descent. It's when we watch the game, there is a difference of plays. Like I have people that watch my show from the Philippines, from Lithuania, from the UK, and they enjoy it. They love it because they understand, and they'll DM me and let me know that this is how it really should be played. And who came up with the game? Where was
Canadian,
he from?
Canadian.
yep, Mr. Naismith. Yeah.
I'm just,
So I think it would be close, and the lineups are pretty obvious if you look at the NBA players of today. There might be some players that are not in the NBA that would play as well, but I think it'd be a lot closer than people think. Um, I think you can go either way, but right now, the way the Europeans are playing the game in the NBA, man, I give them a real shot to win that. If it's 5 versus 5, I give them a shot to beat the Americans.
Hold on, Reese. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Look at the top players in the league. Who are they? Who are
Jokic,
they?
Giannis, Embiid, um,
Tatum.
um, Aiden's not a top player.
What, Jason Tatum?
Jason
Oh, sorry,
Tatum, yeah.
Tatum. I thought you said Aiden. Tatum is American, correct?
Yeah,
Curry, Steph
he'll be on
Curry.
the team.
Yeah,
Steph
Even
Steph
Curry.
that,
Curry.
even that Alexander kid from OKC is ripping it up.
Yeah,
And he's
that's
Canadian.
right. He's Canadian. John Morant would be American as well.
The Americans are loaded, man. You can't.
You're forgetting
No, but
Doncic.
I'm only saying if it's
Right
5 versus 5. If it's 12-on-12, then the Americans have an advantage. If it's 5-on-5, the Europeans have a chance. That's what I'm gonna say. Gil, what's your thoughts on this?
Okay. If you're gonna say Europeans, yeah, the Americans have a chance. But if it's outside of North
I'm saying
America,
like
like
world versus America.
outside of the
Yeah,
states, they're done. They're done. Look,
Who
yeah,
look,
Americans are
even look at Indiana with look at their two players, Halliburton and the other kid from Canada, right? Look at Shy, like you said, Jose, right? Like look at some of these guys that are outside of the states that can
yeah.
actually ball.
You know what? Next week
Look
when
at
we do the
Doncic.
show, I'm gonna come up with a lineup for both sides next week when we do the show, so we can further discuss this better. But
I
Gil,
got you.
so we'll do that.
I got you.
All of us will try to do it. Gil, I want your opinion on this, even though we haven't really come up with a lineup. But we'll do this next week again.
Well, I feel like I feel that the European players they're more hearted towards the game, like Giannis. You have Embiid, you have there's even
Jokic,
Porzingis,
yeah,
Jokic.
yeah.
Porzingis is a big boy in Washington. He's playing pretty well too. Um, I don't know the Miami guy. What's his name again? The center.
Adebayo, yeah.
Yeah,
Bam Adebayo.
He's
you know,
American.
like,
And
is
and
he?
Shy would be your point guard, right? Shy Gilgeous would be your point guard. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a question that you have to think about.
right,
To go off
right.
the top of the head. But yeah, the NBA players do cry a lot.
Yes.
I find the Americans complain more. They want the calls in their favor. As to the Europeans, if they don't call it, they might get upset, but they just leave it alone. It is what it is. They're more humble.
Right.
But the
If the
European,
Europeans don't
the
get the
Europe,
calls, we get upset. They don't get upset.
yeah, that's what I'm
The
saying. That's
players
what I'm getting
themselves.
to.
Right.
That's what I'm getting to. But if we look at it today, and Brian and Jose, you guys probably know too, if we look at it, the European players evolved. They're at their highest probably right now.
Right. They're the best players in the league right now.
As before was that odd one or two, but he was never the best player.
Yeah.
Like Luka's great, Jonovic is great. Like we're getting top notch now. If the league is European players, which in the '90s it wasn't, even the 2000s it wasn't, but it slowly got better, right?
Yeah.
So
It was just Dirk.
Who knows if in 10 years the Europeans take over the NBA? Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, Jose, continue with what's on your mind because we're going to get back to this next week.
Yeah. Besides that, this week, well, I don't know what Nick Nurse is thinking about, man. I honestly, like, you're on a back-to-back game, and you only play 3 bench players, and you like play your the shit out of your freaking stars, and come down the stretch, dude. He has, like, I didn't see no set plays, no nothing. It was just give the ball to freaking Freddie VanVleet and let him operate and try to get it over shot away or try to
Just so
drive.
the audience understands, you're talking about the Bucks game, correct?
Yeah, the Bucks game. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
How do you not play your bench on a back-to-back game? You only play 3 guys. Like, come on, dude. Like,
Here's my counter to that. The Bucks played on a back-to-back as well. Did not have Giannis. No excuses. The Raptors have got to win that game.
Bench. How many bench players did Milwaukee throw out?
3, I think. 3.
Milwaukee. No, they didn't. They threw out 7 guys. 7 guys.
All their bench.
Did they play everybody?
They played the whole bench.
But they have reliable bench players. The Raptors don't.
What's that?
The Bucks have reliable bench players. The Raptors don't.
Hold on a second. So when you draft Koloko and you leave him on the bench, you don't even play him.
That didn't make sense. They should have played Koloko. Yes, that doesn't make sense.
So you have Malachi Flynn on the bench. You can give Freddie VanVleet a couple of minutes to rest. Okay.
Malachi Flynn is garbage. Next.
Okay, listen, he is garbage, but he can give you 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes to rest.
You're gonna put Gomez. You're gonna put Juancho out there against Brook Lopez. You're gonna use him.
What? Brook Lopez got kicked. Brook Lopez got exactly. So that's why wouldn't you put a big man because
Juancho is no match for him, and same goes for Koloko. The reason why Koloko didn't play is because Brook Lopez is too big for him. That's why he didn't play.
He's the same height.
Hey, is my headband talking?
Girth.
Is my headband talking to you?
He would have ran over Koloko and thrown him into the gym.
That's some bullshit.
Lopez doesn't even drive. He just shoots threes from the outside. Did you ever see
defensive rebounding wise, he would have owned those 2 guys, Gomez and freaking. Come on, you can't play Koloko against big guys. You can't.
What Thaddeus Young there for then? Why don't you just release him? Why is he?
I don't understand why he's on the team. I agree with you. I don't understand why he's on the team.
So you telling me Thaddeus Young can't give you 8 minutes, 10 minutes to a game?
He's got to be in the doghouse, Jose. Something's going on there for him to not be playing at all. So he's got to be in the doghouse. So
something like something's happening, but it's just dumb. Like, you don't have any set plays for the end of the game to set up for your team. Like, I don't understand.
But Freddie too plays stupid basketball. When you have 2 back-to-back 3-on-2 breaks and you decide to throw up layups that are going to get easily blocked instead of passing the ball, that's stupid basketball. That's not Nick Nurse not playing guys. Fred VanVleet's got to pass the ball and not try to lay it up among the towers of the Bucks and get blocked 2 straight times either, right? And the Raptors can't defend. I don't know. You put on bench players, they can't defend either. So it's like, until the Raptors start defending, it doesn't matter who you put out there, you're going to lose. You allow 130 points to a team without Giannis, you're going to lose. But go ahead, Jose.
No, that's it. Pretty much it. That's all that's bothering me.
The Raptors are the most frustrating team to watch of all the Toronto teams, and that includes the goddamn Leafs. Gil, what's on your mind?
No, nothing much. What was on my mind was we're always talking about the Raptors. It's about the bench. It's about the coach. No one's doing nothing about it. So uh, Giannis didn't play that game, right? But
They should have won the
Holiday
game. But
Holiday had a
they
holiday.
yeah.
Holiday. The only thing I see is Holiday got hot. Uh, maybe Fred Van Fleet should have passed the ball a little bit more. I think he took almost 40 shots.
Yeah.
I think it was close to 40 shots he almost took.
39.
That's not true. If Siakam wants to be the main man on this team, why isn't he taking the shots at the end?
He never does. He never does.
Be the man. You want to be the best player on this team. You want to take this team to the next level. Then
LeBron.
grab a pair of balls, and fucking start playing like you want to be a superstar in this league.
Yeah. Fred took 28 shots in the game. 28 shots for Fred.
Just like LeBron. Not.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gil.
Well, that happened to LeBron. Yeah, Brian's right. I saw that game actually with the Lakers. Westbrook took the last shot and was I don't even know if that was a layup or a shot. That was horrible.
It was a
It
turnover.
was a waste. And LeBron just walked into the dressing room. Westbrook stayed falling on the floor. He just stood there because he probably thought himself he should have gave the ball to LeBron, but he didn't. But yeah, like I don't know. Every time we keep talking, like my Spurs, you guys can attack. They're doing what they got to do.
Right.
They had their dynasty. They got to rebuild. So you guys don't have to gangbang me with that stuff.
But nobody has to say shit about your Spurs, brother.
No, they're in the right
championships.
I already said it, Gil. I'd rather beat the Spurs right now. I would rather have your record and be in the position you're right now than be in the middle where the Raptors are. So I'm not even going to diss your team. They're in a good spot right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if Popovich is getting that girl ready to be the first female head coach of the NBA.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would when he leaves, Becky Hammond takes over. I wouldn't be surprised. Right? That would be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to see a woman coach. It would be kind of cool.
Isn't she coaching in the NBA?
Yes, and they won the championship. Her team just won the championship.
Yeah, so she's not in the coaching there anymore. So I don't know. Maybe.
No, but her name comes up a lot when coaching opens up. But I think the only team that'll give her a chance is the Spurs when Popovich leaves. So that is a good point. That is a good point.
She was an assistant.
For years.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah, I'll do like.
May I get in here? Since you guys are talking about the Raptors, and since it's
we only have 8 minutes, we'll get a couple of thoughts, and that's it.
Okay, so let me tell you something. Let me tell you guys something. What I'm seeing currently right now from the Toronto Raptors, a lot of people are like saying trade Freddie, trade Gary Trent. Yeah, Gary Trent is a valuable asset, and he could possibly be on the go, and it might not. He might be gone. But what I really see it stemming from is the management. The management. That's really what it comes from, because they're not really taking care of the team. These guys, they got their head sprung. They're thinking all kinds of making money, and it's really not working for the team. Because Gil, I love that you're a Spurs fan, because the Spurs were all about the team back in the day. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, right? Tim Duncan, obviously, right? They were all about a team, and that's honestly where I think from, right? I think that the Raptors should start thinking as a team, but there is a rift in the team, and you guys will see it on the To The Point channel. We did cover the dysfunction within the locker room, which we filmed today as we're filming with you guys. So
yeah,
that's what I say.
I'm going to end it off here. There's a lot of problems in the Raptors locker room. There are clear issues within the locker room and team chemistry issues. There are issues with Nick Nurse right now. You could tell how frustrated he is when he does his press conferences after the game. The Raptors need a trade, and they need a culture shock. And yes, I understand why people are upset about this, but Fred VanVleet has to go. And the reason why Fred has to go is because he's the guy running this locker room right now, and it's in clear distress. And there is a thought that if you get rid of him and have someone else lead this team, that you might actually get better. Plus, you don't want to pay him 4 years and 130 million for a guy who has a lot of injuries and is a volume shooter. So the Raptors need to change directions, and hopefully that will come up soon now that the January 15th deadline is passed and we're getting closer to the deadline. We'll see. But I almost feel like the Raptors should do a small tank, a small tank to finish lower. Although the way they play and how horrific their defense is, they could lose to anybody as currently constructed right now. So the only reason you would trade Gary or Fred is because their contracts are coming up. You can't lose them for nothing, and you may not want to pay them. But as the Raptors are right now, they're going to lose a lot of games because they can't defend, and their offense is usually pretty bad. So I don't expect it to get any better. They're going to miss the playoffs. But I'd rather them be lower than in the play-in and then get embarrassed in the first round. Like, I'd rather them miss the playoffs.
Knocking on the door for the play-in. They're knocking on the door for the play-in.
Yeah, but they're going nowhere. Like the Raptors are now 0-3 against the Bucks. They're 0-4 against the Suns, and they're 1-2 against the 76ers. Boston, I think they're 0-1, and they're not going to beat them again this year. So the only team the Raptors can beat are the Cavs, who they're 3-0 against. And I wouldn't want to play Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs with Fred VanVleet guarding him. So they're going nowhere. Why make the playoffs if you're going to get
Someone
pumped
on the
anyway?
Raptors should date a Kardashian to frick up with Donovan Mitchell.
Like Gil's teams are in a better spot. Like Gil's Devils right now are young. They're a surprise playoff team, and they still have young players, draft picks. They're on the rise. I'd rather be that team, or the Spurs who are bottoming out, have a couple of talents, and add a superstar, and they can get better in 1 year. I'd rather be that than be a team with a bunch of guys about to get paid that is already bad. That's like being the Knicks or the Lakers. We don't want to be them. And guess what, Brian? We have the same record as the Lakers. What does that tell you about our team? We're pretty garbage. That's what it tells
you. Yeah, so call LeBron.
So that is our show for this week. I want to make sure Jose and Gil got their stuff in. I'm sure after next week when we pump the Cowboys, we'll have a lot more to talk about, because then it gets closer and closer to the Super Bowl, and we'll start to bring on guests that are going to be at our Super Bowl party, aka Barbosa, Linos. It's time to get them on the show, talk about that game, but we'll see who gets there first. Brock Purdy Mania is alive and well. I love the kid. And the best part about this is this: no matter what happens this year, the 49ers are going to go into next year with Trey Lance and Brock Purdy paying them nothing, which means this offense and defense is only going to get better. It's scary, guys. We're talking dynasty coming up right now. That's how good this team can be with the way they're being built. I'm talking two or three in a row is possible. I'm telling you right now, the way that this team is built, and coming off of Jimmy G's money and spreading that elsewhere, we're only going to get better. So look out for the 49ers.
I wanted to give appreciation. Nobody gives appreciation, but Brian Greasy, for what he's doing with the 49ers quarterbacks this year, I give him mad props. Nobody,
and Kyle Shanahan,
it doesn't take any credit, but Brian Greasy's been working with these guys behind the scenes and stuff like that, and you can see the difference. So I give him mad props for him too.
So let's go 49ers. Sorry, Brian, about your Vikings. It's been a rough year for you. You had a lot of thrills, but then a disappointing playoff exit. Believe me, Brian.
Me and Gil are gonna go golfing.
Brian, you saved yourself a lot of pain, because had you won that game, you know where you'd be going right now? You'd be coming to our house and getting destroyed anyway. So you saved yourself a lot of pain. Trust me. You're better off, losing to the G-Men.
We'd get you.
So that's our show for this week. Brian, thank you for taking your lumps. Jose, go 49ers. Gil, give me an update on the Rodgers soapbox drama. And until then, we'll have the AFC and NFC championship games next week. And we'll see if we have Brian on again or somebody else. But until then, I'm the mouth of North Andrew Reese. That's Jose Carlos Gomes, and that's Gil Santos. Thank you, Brian. Kings, Vikings, Hosein from To The Point. We will see you on the next Reese Report.